Hey, youngster, come here. A word with...
My name's Henry. Thank you for taking care of me here.
My name's Peshek, and I'm the miller here. You've already met my niece, Teresa. She took care of you for 2 whole weeks while you were in limbo. And talking of you being at death's door, while you were lying here, you worked up quite a bill with the bloodletter, who came now and again to keep you alive with his potions. That quack doesn't come cheap. I paid him what I could, but I still, that is, you still owe him.
I see. Well, it's better to be in debt than to lie dead in a ditch. What do I owe? I'm not afraid of hard work.
You won't pay for that shoveling manure. I might have a better job for you. And it's not something any fool can do. If you prove to me you're a clever lad, I might trust you with something you could really make money from. What do you say?
Well, what would you need from me?
A trifle. Just to take something from someone and bring it to someone else. And not get caught while you're doing it.
That sounds straightforward enough. Except for not get caught. Why would anyone want to catch me?
Oh, don't worry. It's just a job like any other. Only this one requires, let's say, the right moral disposition. Do corpses bother you?
No honourable man should touch them. That's the executioner's job.
Did you expect I'd give you a hoe and send you out to the fields? You can dig all right, but somewhere else. I want to know whether you're going to hide behind some stupid fucking scruples, or if you might be useful for more unconventional work.
I was prepared for just about anything, but that's a bit much. But go on. Tell me more.
Listen, it's about this ring my mate Wojciech, the Kohelnitz miller, had his eye on. Trouble is, they buried the ring by the gibbet along with the villain they hung while he was wearing it.
Jesus Christ. You want me to dig up a corpse, take a ring from it and give it to your friend in Kohelnitz? Is nothing sacred to you?
Money first, morals later. That fellow is dead. He won't miss it. Whatever bleeding heart came up with the idea that it's disrespectful to disturb a corpse never read the Bible. It's still a human body, only it's missing a soul. Why be disgusted by something created by God?
I think I've already heard more than I need to know. You've got the tongue of the devil himself. If you tried hard enough, I bet you could justify sodomy with a goat.
Watch your mouth, boy. There's a shovel here around the mill somewhere. If there's any problem, come and see me. And here's something on the side to make you dig better.
Thanks. I'll need it. I can't believe I've come to this. Digging up corpses.
Oh, and watch out for the executioner and his hounds. They're pretty savage. And I don't just mean the dogs. You can just throw them some meat. The dogs, that is. But the executioner? Well, don't vex him.
Farewell. Have you eaten yet?
Yes, it was very good. Did you bake it yourself?
I did. I'm glad you enjoyed it.
Where can I find a shovel?
There's one right outside, leaning against the cart. May the Lord watch over. Try unlocking this trunk. Hold the lock on the right and use it to feel out. Got it? Good. Now turn the whole lock to play, but don't stop holding the tumbler with the pick. Otherwise, you'll be fucked and you'll have to start all over. You forced it and broke the lock pick. That crack could be heard in Kuddenberg. You have to watch out for that. An experienced guard will recognize the sound at once. You're a damn hand, Hal. Make something out of you yet. Remember, this trunk's only for practice. With real hooks, you have to watch out. Try it a few more times if you like. Then good luck with the real thing.
Can you tell me...
Do you know anything about those Cumans?
The heathen scum that Sigismund brought here. Why do you even ask? You've seen with your own two eyes what they're capable of.
What do you think about everything that's happened?
I don't concern myself with the doings of my betters. But this mess isn't good for business. Them two brothers should sort things out between themselves without dragging us into it. I don't give a damn who's king, but that usurper from Hungary has gone too far.
What about the Skalitz folk?
God sent them to punish us for our sins. They don't work, they just idle around begging. And you want to keep a close eye on your belongings when they're around. I'll be glad to see the back of them.
That's all.
God be with you.
Well, you're a sight for sore eyes.
What's that dog you have here? He looks familiar.
Don't you remember him? It's Mart, the butcher's dog from Skalitz.
Ah, of course. When I went back to bury my parents, he was guarding his master's dead body. A faithful dog. How come he's here?
When we carted you here, we took Mutt along too. He's been hanging around the mill ever since.
How's he doing?
A lot better now. I slipped him something good now and again when Uncle wasn't looking.
He won't starve to death then. What does the miller have to say about it?
He can't stand him.
How's that?
Every time he sees him, he starts shouting that he's a useless mouth to feed and that'll skin him.
Jesus.
And it didn't even soften his heart when Mutt brought a hare from the woods. He was happy to eat it, but it didn't change his mind.
I could have a word with him.
That would be a waste of time.
Does he obey you?
Me? Not much. He's got a mind of his own, and I'm just not strict enough.
Ah, spoilt then.
No, he just hasn't learned many commands. But he's well able to beg for a piece of meat.
How long has he been with you?
More or less since we came here. He runs off now and again, but he always comes back. Sometimes I don't see him all day. I think he likes to go wandering.
So he's doing quite well then?
Yeah. I'd keep him, but he reminds me too much of Tinker, you know? I don't want to think about Skallets. So I thought maybe you might take him with you?
Me?
I'm sure the two of you would get on great. He's a handsome fella and lovable. I'd be very happy if you had him.
But we never had a dog at the smithy. We never needed one.
Come on. He's got no one.
All right. I'll take him. He can keep me company on my travels.
Thanks, Henry. Go and get him then. He's sniffing around somewhere here.
Have you got a moment? I'd like to ask a few questions about Skallets. I don't remember much.
All right. What do you want to know?
How did you get me away from Skallets?
It wasn't easy. Sir Robard and his men helped load you on a wagon and we harnessed an old nag the bandits had left behind. The soldiers escorted us all the way here, God bless them.
What about the bandits?
Sir Robard and his men routed them. They killed the few, but the giant who attacked you fled, and Zibishek with him. It won't be safe in Skallets for a while yet.
Why would Zbyszek do that? I never thought much of him, but banditry?
He was always a nasty piece of work. Doesn't surprise me he joined them. If you knew what he did to me.
Tell me.
When those Cumans, they call them. When the Cumans came, Zbyszek pushed me out in front of them and fled. He sacrificed me to save his own hide.
That bastard! Where's the sword I had?
You had a sword? It's gone now. Those scum took everything, including your horse.
I don't give a damn about the horse. I stole it anyway. But my father forged that sword for Sir Radzig. I promised father I'd take it to him. I have to get it back.
Well, you can't. Just be thankful you're still alive.
What happened to the other survivors from Skallets?
They sought refuge in Ratay, and some of the Ratay folk are none too happy about it.
And Matthew, Fritz and Matthias? Johanka? Did they make it?
They're alive. I heard Matthias is at the stud farm in Merhojed. Johanka is in Sasau, and Fritz and Matthew, well, you know them. They're up to no good somewhere. The only trouble they'll be in is of their own making.
What about Sir Radzig?
Sir Hanush, he's the Lord of Ratay. He gave his lower castle to Sir Radzig, a place called Perkstein. Sir Hanush lives at the upper castle. The Skallets folk have made camp in front of it.
How did you get away from those Cumans?
You're wrong. If it hadn't been for you... When they came to the mill, they slaughtered everyone, and kept me for last. After you distracted them, I fled to the mines to find my brother, but he... My brother was dead, but I owe my life and more to you.
And I owe mine to you. The scales are balanced. I won't trouble you anymore. Let's leave it be.
I'd like to know...
So, how'd you like it in Ratay?
It's a big town with good strong walls, so I suppose we're safe here. And they took us in our hour of need, but for how much longer? They'll grow tired of us soon enough.
How are the Skalitz folk getting on?
They're alive, that's the main thing. They have shelter, but they're just scraping by. Rattay's citizens aren't happy the town is full of beggars who don't look like leaving anytime soon.
Do you know anything about those human rapists? About... you know.
They came to Hungary from God knows where, and now they... Well, folk tell awful stories about them. I hope I never see them again.
That's all. What actually happened to you in Skalitz? I mean, during the attack and... well, you know.
That's a long story. Not a very cheerful one. Are you sure you want to hear it now?
I do.
All right, then. It was a day like any other. Another ordinary day in my ordinary life. I awoke at first light, before the others. I like those kind of mornings best. When the first rays of sunshine quickly drive away the nighttime cold. Hello, you. Claire. And the breeze carries the scent of dew-covered grass and the bloom of spring. I wanted to get my chores done before the rest of the household was up. And this morning seemed made for that very purpose.
Right, better get to work. I have to feed the hens, weed the garden, feed Tinker. I'd better get it all done before Papa is up. That should do it. The garden is looking how it should again.
Here, chickie, chickie, chickie. Here. Here you are, girls. Fill your beaks. I must bring Tinker a piece of meat. That'll be a nice treat. Good fella. That's my boy. Look what I've got for you. You'll love this. Look what I've got for you. You'll love this.
Teresa! Come here, would you? Teresa! Come here!
What do you need, Papa?
Go up and see the blacksmith. He made some nails for me. Here's some coin.
All right. Anything else while I'm at it?
No, unless you want to stop off at the market and buy some supplies. And before you go, wake Samuel. The boy's still lying in bed and won't stir. He ought to follow your example and Stebor's. You two don't have to be pushed to work. Well, at least he's still better than that good-for-nothing Zbyszek. The lazy wretch. A helper like that isn't worth a damn. If it weren't for his father, God rest his soul, I'd have thrown him out on his ear long ago.
Now, Father, you shouldn't be so hard on Zbyszek. You know he hasn't had an easy life.
And who has, girl? That's no excuse for laziness. You could tell him to get his ass to work too.
Right, go for nails, send Samuel and Zbyszek to work. If it's at all possible.
Aye, just so. Oh, and Teresa, once you've done all your chores for the day, I've a little surprise for you.
A surprise, Pa? Don't you want to tell me about it now?
Curiosity killed the cat. What kind of surprise would it be if I told you, girl?
Oh, all right. Sammy, get up. It's broad daylight and the birds are singing.
Yeah, I'm up.
Have a bite to eat before going to the mine.
All right, Ma. You don't have to treat me like a child. Looks like it'll be nice today, eh? I could go to the pond fishing.
But you have to go to work.
I know. But maybe I can slip off after lunch.
There'll be no slipping off. You know very well Namoy has been complaining about you.
What about dropping that pail on Tonda's head? It was an accident.
Not the first accident you've had, though, was it?
Well, there you go then. If I leave early, nothing'll happen to anyone. And you can cook the fish for lunch tomorrow.
You silly sod. All you ever do at the pond is lie around. The only thing you'll catch is more trouble from the mine master when he finds out. Well, if you're not a child, you can sort it out yourself with Namoy.
Don't I always?
Good day.
How's it going, Steebor? Do you need anything?
No, I'll just be hanging around the mill today, carrying sacks of flour and that. And in the afternoon, I'll go and check the fish trap. Then me and Pa have some matters to attend to in the evening.
What matters?
It's nothing to worry your pretty little head about, sister.
Oh, yeah. The Millers and their secret matters.
Aye, it's something like that.
Pa says you're idle, and if you carry on like that, he'll throw you out.
Why would he do that? Then he'd be left only with Steebor, and Steebor is not going to break his back working either.
Listen, Zibishek. Pa's not happy with you, and if he says you're idling, you'd better make a bit of effort. I'm only telling you for your own good. You wouldn't want to lose your job now, would you?
You lot are always going on about work as if it was a blessing from heaven. All right. I'll get to work. Anything for a bit of peace.
That's more like it. You'll see it doesn't hurt.